What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, and we're back with the 13th round of Season 2 of this career mode. Here today for the Belgian Grand Prix, and if you just noticed there, we have rejoined Toro Rosso, leaving Alfa Romeo. Endured a torrid time at Alfa Romeo, particularly at the start of this season, and then Hungary was the final nail in the coffin. We have replaced Grosjean at Toro Rosso, and we have been replaced by Lance Stroll at Alfa Romeo, so probably a bit of a downgrade for Alfa Romeo, in all honesty. Probably an upgrade for Toro Rosso. Grosjean had no points all season, and now he's paid the price with his seat. So basically back to how we were in Season 1. We got a chassis upgrade on the way as well, an engine upgrade unfortunately failed, but that will definitely be on the car come Italy, which is exactly when you need an engine boost. So that's ideal. That's not too shabby at all. And putting some more upgrades on the car just to try and help us along, because we're currently bottom as well of the development window. So yeah, we've joined the worst team from the team that was 5th. So Alfa Romeo have actually been overtaken by Red Bull again, but there's opportunities here now at Toro Rosso. If things start to go well for us at Toro Rosso, we could find ourselves in a Red Bull not before long. But yeah, it was a surprise move, but I thought, rejoining Toro Rosso would probably be the best choice out of all these teams. I mean, there was Renault, there was Haas, but Toro Rosso looked like the most ideal one to join. And the car actually doesn't feel too bad, actually, going through practice and now coming into qualifying. We've actually got some decent pace. Compared to our teammate, we've actually got some strong pace as well. Our teammate not showing too much pace, so maybe it's the car that's more suiting us. Because at the start of last season, this Toro Rosso was very difficult to drive, but now it feels a lot better. But the Alfa Romeo we had was also quite a handful as well, as Lance Stroll setting the provisional pole lap there, going fastest. It'll be interesting to see how he does for Alfa Romeo. The only transfers that have happened so far this season being Lance Stroll replacing myself at Alfa Romeo, and myself replacing Grosjean at Toro Rosso. I didn't think Grosjean was really going to be a realistic signing for Toro Rosso, but I'm not surprised that he's actually lost his seat already, given that he's not scored any points. But that leaves Grosjean, Raikkonen and Kubica on the sidelines at the moment. Those 3 drivers. May see them back again in Season 3, or maybe in 4 rounds' time. I think it's after the Russian Grand Prix, or just before the Japanese one, I think. That's when we may see another transfer happen, or 2. But of course, with one of the recent patches, this game has obviously slowed down the transfers, made it a few less in the in-season, more between seasons as when the transfers happen now. But here we go then, we're coming around the final few corners around the bus stop chicane to set our first lap, and this is going to be our only lap in this session. It started raining towards the end of the session, so we weren't able to set a lap time, and we go 3rd fastest, which that's not too bad actually. We're ahead of a Ferrari, so that is really decent. And then you can see when we went out again, it was raining. So P10 for our first race back at Toro Rosso. So our second day before Toro Rosso, and we're lining up 10th for the race, which is good. We're ahead of Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, so we're ahead of a Red Bull. Our teammates in 15th. So yeah, great qualifying so far. A great impressing on our day before Toro Rosso. We actually got a good deal as well in the contract between ourselves and Toro Rosso, so that was really something that helped us join Toro Rosso as well. So we had I think level 3 of everything except pit stops, which was level 2, because we have maximum reputation with Toro Rosso despite leaving them. But hopefully we can carry that on and impress the Red Bull team again. So we didn't do that last time we were at Toro Rosso too well. But now, if we can get a good result today, things could change, because, Red Bull aren't doing too well. Gasly's struggling. Even Verstappen is struggling. I don't know why. But he just doesn't get to get it in qualifying. But here we go then with the starting grid, and as you'd expect, it's a Mercedes front row lockout with Bottas this time on pole position, Hamilton alongside him, and it's a Ferrari second row lockout with Leclerc ahead of Vettel. Alfa Romeo not doing too well, Weber 5th ahead of Butler, Perez, Gasly, and then Lance Stroll on his debut for Alfa Romeo alongside myself, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Russell and Norris, Albon, and then Magnussen and the Hasses are towards the back of the grid, along with the Renaults, Giovinazzi, Hulkenberg, and then Danny Kvyat and Carlos Sainz rounding off the grid. So didn't really fancy joining Renault because they've been at the back for the whole season. But here we go. Here's our second debut for Toro Rosso, rejoining the team, and we're away in Spa, and immediately pulling over to the right as we dive down into turn 1, the source, and on the inside of a few cars we have a slight contact with Lance Stroll. So we've gained 3 places off the start there, up into P7 then, and Lance Stroll attacking us as we go through Eau Rouge for the first time, and he's on the inside and there's a little bit of contact. It looks like he's been hit by a car behind him as well, so something's happened there between Lance Stroll and another car, because I don't know what he was doing, trying to make a move on the inside into Eau Rouge. I mean, you make the move before Eau Rouge, but trying to go make a move on the inside into Eau Rouge, you're going to ask for a collision there, and there's yellow flags behind us as well. So more dramas kicking off behind us on lap 1. We'll definitely have to take a replay, of course, in a moment's time as we get around the first lap, because we've actually had a good start to this lap, chasing Devon Butler now, who's just ahead of us in the McLaren, sorry. And then the 2 Ferraris ahead as well, and Weber getting ahead of both the Ferraris, so Weber's had a good start as well here, and the Mercedes, of course, up front leading the race, and well, you'd expect Mercedes leading the race. Perez as well as behind us, and there seems to be a little bit of a gap between Perez and the next few cars. I'd imagine someone's got a bit of front wing damage, perhaps when it was going through Eau Rouge towards well, the next corner after that, but it's going well so far. We've got Sergio Perez now chasing us towards the end of lap 1 as we go through Boulogne-Dumont then now, and then we'll come up to bus stop chicane for the first time in this race. But it doesn't look like Sergio Perez is going to be able to make the move. Well, it actually made a little bit of contact there, but we come through the bus stop chicane and towards the start-finish straight to start lap 2. Hamilton's taking the lead away from Valtteri Bottas then. Maybe got a bit of slipstream on the start-finish straight, well, on the Camel Straight rather, and then probably moving his way up into second place. But here is the replay then of the start. You see us moving to the right side almost immediately, and you can see Lance Stroll just ahead of us as well, and then Lucas Weber as well further ahead. We dive down a few cars into turn 1. Looks like we got past Gasly and Perez and Stroll as well. Then here's the run up towards Eau Rouge. He looked towards the inside so far, then couldn't make the move on the outside, and then tries to make the move here, and then slowed down. It looks like he'd been hit by one of the Red Bulls. I don't know which one that would be, but yeah, he was hit by one of the Red Bulls as we went towards, and you can see there it is, Hamilton making a move on Bottas on the Kemmel Straight, and you can see both the Mercedes, both the Ferraris being in a battle with Weber. And here's Stroll on his debut, trying to make the move on the outside, and then gets a tap up the rear by one of the Red Bulls. So well, I don't really know what Stroll's thinking, trying to make a move there on the first lap. He probably should have been a bit more patient, but there you can see it's actually Pierre Gasly who lost a bit of his front wing and ended up having to pit at the end of lap 1. So yeah, disappointment for Gasly. As you can see, the Alfa Romeo making a move back past him towards the next corner. And then Frugo goes to Williams too, and he slows down a little bit more there. So disappointment there for Pierre Gasly as he's had the pit. But there we go. On to lap 3 we go, and we're chasing Devon Butler now for P6. But yeah, we're showing some good pace at the moment. Sergio Perez behind us. So yeah, P7, we're in the points, and our objective, I believe, is for P14 in qualifying and the race as well. So we've actually got a good deal at the moment. So to be P14 in qualifying and the race, I think it's P14 anyway, but to be there, that's perfect. If we can actually start getting some good results, we could be knocking on a Red Bull drive if we actually get some good results together here. But well, it's early days yet. Of course, we could end up having an incident again in this race. We've got a McLaren in front of us. We've had so many incidents with McLaren already this season, even adding up to the previous race where we ran into the back of Butler and basically ruined our race, actually running in the back of him in the last race, and probably led to us leaving Alfa Romeo. So but yeah, well, I don't think there would have been any transfers either. I think Grosjean would have still been in his seat. I don't think Stroll would have come back into the Toro Rosso seat. Maybe Grosjean was always going to be destined to lose that seat, but instead we took it and Stroll took our seat. But, well, who knows? As we come towards the end of this lap then, we're still behind, but we haven't got the straight line speed to really just get onto the back of these cars at the moment, unfortunately, because we've got the slowest car in the straight line. Of course, we've got the Honda engine, which of course could do with an upgrade actually on this game, because the Honda engine is actually quite good now in real life, but for some reason on the game it's a long way off. But we've got DRS on Devon Butler, so this is an opportunity to stick with him a little bit closer and perhaps pounce if there's a mistake. But as you can see, even he's got DRS2 on the Ferraris and the Alfa Romeo as well, so the Mercedes aren't exactly pulling away at the moment for some reason. I'm not really sure why that is, but the Mercedes actually slowly being caught up by everyone else as well in the development window. But for this season it's definitely too late. It looks like they've got it in the bag, particularly Hamilton, but now we've got DRS. Butler's actually fallen away a little bit from these guys as well, so he's not going to get a tow. He may still have DRS, but we are getting a lot of slipstream, and we dive down the inside into turn 4 on the inside of Devon Butler, and through we go, and that's a great move there. So we're a long way back actually, making the move up to P6 and taking that position away from Devon Butler as well, not making contact. So having an actual race with a McLaren without one of us losing a bit of front wing is actually miraculous, really. But I don't know how this is actually happening, to be honest, because the Toro Rosso, my teammates all the way down the field, and for some reason we're up in P6. But with the Alfa Romeo, we're struggling some of the times to even compete with these guys. But as soon as we join a car that's actually not so competitive, it's doing us well. But this car's actually feeling quite alright to handle as well. I think the chassis feels quite good, the aero feels quite good as well, but it's a little bit behind. But the engine is just lacking quite a lot. It's almost like the 2016 McLaren kind of thing. It was actually quite a decent car, but the engine was just a little bit behind. But now we've got Devon Butler, who's just chasing us again. He's still not wanting to give up that position. It looks like we've fallen away from the Ferraris now, so maybe P6 might be the best we can get in this race, unless there's a few retirements ahead of us. But it's always possible around Spa, although it's only an 11-lap race, which should a little bit disappointing. I'd like a few more laps around this track, but well, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But we're meant to be pitting at the end of this lap then, so well, see maybe if we can get an undercut. But the undercuts hardly ever work in 25% races because tyres tend to be so much colder anyway, and the ERS is always being used up or saved. And here we go, is Devon Butler going to be able to retake P6 away from us as we come onto the Kemmel Straight? And he's going down the inside. Is he going to be able to make the move back up to P6? He's going down the inside. We're on the outside, and there is contact this time, and Butler has gone round, and well, it's happened again. Another incident with, I think there may have to be a compilation of McLaren incidents at the end of this season, because there's another one. Here's the replay. It's Devon Butler. He's going down the inside. Whose fault is this here? I'd probably say it's probably my fault. We didn't give him too much room, but we're going to try and, say that he's probably been in our way a lot of this season. Run into us a few times as well. But yeah, we got away with that. He ended up not only losing one position in the end, so not too bad for him. But it's the end of lap 5 now. We're in the pits and following Sebastian Vettel into the pits as well. We've actually caught up with him a little bit in the last few sectors of that lap. So with Butler off our back, we're now in the pits. Can we actually gain any time on Sebastian in the pit stop here? It'll be interesting to see if our guys, we got that level 2 pit stop, so if that can actually help us at all, that would be perfect. But there we go, and again, there's this always a little delay with the pit stops. It's so frustrating. It costs us a few temps, a few important temps, which could cost us dearly coming out of the pits here. We come out of the pits and we crossed the white line. Luckily for us, we only get warnings for that. But there you can see Alexander Albon, our teammate, was almost trying to make a move on us then, and we were saying, look, don't even think about it, son, because you're going to cost us time if you do that. Just play the team game. We did sort of cut him off a little bit. He's now had to defend from Magnussen, but straight off the bat of the pit stop, we've just managed to attack Lance Stroll and taken away P12 then. So Lance Stroll could say bye-bye to P12. He's having a bad day as well. We move now onto lap 6, the end of lap 6, and towards the start of lap 7. So few more cars will be coming out of the pits now. Our teammates now boxed as well. And so we go around La Source again to start lap 7. Daniel Ricciardo, who's yet to stop, he's going to be in the way of us at the moment, and Sebastian Vettel is the next one. So we got 2 cars ahead of us, I believe, yet to stop, because that would put us in the net P6, which is where we were before these pit stops. And now we get DRS open, but Daniel Ricciardo has got DRS as well on Sebastian Vettel. Is he going to cause his former teammate problems? And it looks like he has, which is good news for us, because now we can get interested and perhaps think about making a move on Sebastian ourselves as we go around the next few corners. And you can see now we're getting close to Ricciardo and Vettel as well. So can we make a move on these guys? Can we do anything as we go round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo? And he's looking to force us out wide. Doesn't give us much room and ends up actually making contact with us. And we don't have any of that. We get past him almost immediately. A brave move, but a move we have to make if we actually want to fight with Sebastian Vettel. If we can actually keep within a second of Sebastian Vettel, we could be within a chance of getting DRS next time around, which would, well, give us a chance of overtaking him at least, put us into a net P5. We're currently down in P7. We could see whether we can get past him, but we're actually closing in on him a little bit here. We go through sector 2, and now towards the last sector of this lap, we're within a second. We're actually really close to him, getting a little bit of a tow here, just about pulling us along with this engine that we've got. It's not the best engine at all, but we're doing our bit to improve it now, which we'll get an upgrade coming into Italy, which is definitely when we'll need it, because it's mostly just straight lines there and a few chicanes. But now we got DRS on Sebastian Vettel. Can we get past him into La Source? I highly doubt it, because it's, well, we're quite far back. But we go through turn 1 now, just about, well, yeah, there we go. We're up into P6 though, so everyone's now pitted now ahead of us. So there we go. And now we've got hot lap mode to go through Eau Rouge then and see whether we can get a good run out of here as we go through the top of Radion. And now Vettel, not the best exit. Now we get DRS open, and you can see we're closing in on Vettel. We're closing in on him, and we go to the right hand side. We pull it to the right, and we overtake him. But then before the corner, we pull over to the left. A little bit how he did on Leclerc when they collided. But the AI tend to move a little bit for you here. So we pull over to the left to take the racing line. Up into P5 we go. It's a hell of a race so far. And you see our former teammate as well ahead of us, someone we don't get along too well with, Lucas Weber, and a green sector 1 and a purple sector 2. So is there a chance of an extra point being picked up in this race? It would be certainly interesting if we get a session best lap, a fast lap of the race on our first race for Toro Rosso, get them an extra point, because we're currently bottom in the constructors as well. And indeed we do cross the line and set the fastest lap of the race so far. So currently getting 11 points, and Leclerc is fighting for it with Weber, and there's a good chance we can perhaps nick a podium in this race. You can see a third is just ahead of us, and in fact it looks like one of the Mercedes as well. So is there a chance of getting second in the last 3 laps of this race? Well, that might be wishful thinking, but if we can get past Leclerc now, we may be in with a chance of getting past Weber if we can close in on him. So we go to the right hand side again to make that move on Charles Leclerc as Gasly is out of the race. Can we make the move on Leclerc down the inside? Yes, we can. Up into P4 we go. P4, just 1 place off a podium. And can we get a podium on our debut for Toro Rosso, our second debut for Toro Rosso? This is currently looking to be our best result for Toro Rosso already. So wiping out how bad the first stint we had with Toro Rosso for a much better second stint with Toro Rosso. As we move on to lap 10, unfortunately we've lost a bit of time to Lucas Weber, who's actually onto the back of Valtteri Bottas, I believe it is now. So for some reason Bottas has dropped off a little bit here, and Hamilton's pulled away. And well, I don't know why that is. Bottas has not really had a good season so far, so maybe that Mercedes seat could be up for grabs again at the end of the season, but I doubt it'll be up for grabs by me, because I don't really think I deserved it. But Leclerc has got DRS on me still, and you can see Vettel as well in the distance as well. So we've still got a lot of defending to do. Perhaps maybe P4 might not be ours, and there's contact with Leclerc, and Leclerc goes round again, and it's just a carbon copy of the incident between myself and Lucas Weber, Devon Butler rather. But oh dear, another incident. Here we go. Leclerc goes down the inside. Who's at fault here? Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe I didn't give him enough room again, like Devon Butler, but well, he looks like Leclerc's losing much more time. He's being very courteous. I don't know what he's doing here, but he's reversing, but he's lost so much time, lost so many places, and going on to the final lap of the race now. Weber and Bottas. Oh, it's actually Hamilton. Hamilton is the man struggling in this race, but so maybe Bottas is doing his bit to actually keep his seat now. But Hamilton not having the best of races for whatever reason. He's seen Lucas Weber overtake him, but maybe Hamilton having a few relaxing drives, considering how far ahead he is in the championship already, and how he's pretty much won it already. But P4 looking like ours then, because Vettel nowhere near us, and the guys ahead of us probably won't be able to catch them now towards the end of this race. So P4 on our Toro Rosso debut. How about that? That is not too bad at all. We can be very happy with that. We can look forward to the next few races as well, because we do quite well at Monza. I think we did last season. I think we actually came third here on our Alfa Romeo debut last season, if my memory is right. But Monza, we came fifth in the Alfa Romeo last season, so it looks like points could be up for grabs again. But of course, that's if we can get some upgrades towards the next few parts of the next few races as well, and that would be ideal. But we're actually going to get the best lap of the race as well, so 13 points it looks like we're going to get on our second debut for Toro Rosso, and we're going to come around the last few corners now to end this race. And it's going to be Valtteri Bottas winning this race for Mercedes, ahead of both Weber and Hamilton. We come around to finish P4, and Vettel will be P5. So 13 points then, and yes, the top job from 10th on the grid. So definitely making it better in the race. Maybe if we'd got a second lap, we could have been higher up on the grid, but we can not complain at all with P4, and that's going to be good for us. Even in the Drivers' Championship, we're still up there in the Drivers' Championship in terms of like top sort of 6. But yeah, there you go. So we could actually overtake Leclerc with that one, but I'm not sure how happy you'll be with that one, considering that incident we had on the penultimate lap. But Devon Butler as well, he's further down, and we're still ahead of both the Red Bulls as well. So Toro Rosso finishing ahead of both the Red Bulls in the championship. It looks like it could be this season so far, but there you go. Danny Kvyat getting driver of the day, and he's finished 13th. That makes no sense, but there you go. And then he's giving it to me as well. Yeah, sort that out as well, Copemasters, if you can. But Lance Stroll finishing outside the points on his debut as well for Alfa Romeo, so maybe they've not made the best decision there. We're up to 9th now in the Constructors. We've overtaken Renault already. Next up is Haas and Williams. See if we can get those guys, then well, we can move on, try and get the racing point perhaps. So P6 is probably the best Toro Rosso could do. Whether we're capable of that, we'll have to wait and see. Time will tell. But I hope you enjoyed that episode today, guys. Yeah, a bit of a surprise to be back in Toro Rosso, but we'll see how it goes. We could be up in a different team before you know it. But anyway, guys, like and subscribe. See you very soon for Italy, where we're at actually our team's home Grand Prix. So anyway, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you very soon.